Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
We begin here at 5 with a deadly shooting sparking a massive manhunt inside a Detroit hotel. Members of the Detroit Police Special Response Team flooded the building, going door to door looking for the shooter.
It happened at the Normandy Hotel on Woodward, not too far from Detroit's border with Highland Park. Sean Lay, they're live tonight. Sean, they didn't find him.
They did not. This gunman's still on the loose right now, and I'm going to show everyone the Normandy Hotel. So many people know this place. So many people live here, making the Normandy their home. It's an enormous building. You're right. Detroit police had to rush in, go floor by floor, go door to door to make sure there weren't other victims inside, to make sure they didn't have an active shooter inside. What they ended up finding was this was a tenant and a dispute over a tenant being evicted, and the victim now a longtime beloved maintenance man here. Chris Plesky has known the Normandy Hotel on Woodward Avenue as home for 2 years now.
It's an all right place. It's, it's got its ups and downs.
But getting down on the floor is what Plesky was forced to do late this morning after multiple gunshots could be heard coming from inside the hotel.
Oh, yeah, I knew him and everything, and he was a good guy.
And then what did you hear?
Two real loud gunshots, then the third one was kind of muffled.
What did you do after that?
I hit the floor.
Gunshots coming from a back stairwell. Pleskys and others living here believe another tenant shot and killed the longtime maintenance man of the Normandy.
Oh, yeah, I knew him and everything, and he was a good guy.
The shooting sparked a massive search by Detroit police for the person who pulled the trigger. The building is huge, and police had to clear it just to make sure the shooter wasn't still inside.
We did clear the building, search for second victims or possibly other victims, and we found none.
Tenants forced outside now thinking of the man who kept this building together and was so kind to them over the years, losing his life here today.
Yeah, he's a good man. He run the building. Nicest guy you want to meet.
What could have happened? Why would
who knows, man?
Back here live, there are cameras inside the Normandy. However, it was a camera outside near the back that saw the suspected gunman run. Police tried to track him with a canine, but so far, no sign of them tonight. They're asking if you can help to give them a call. Kimberly Devin, back to you.
Sean, what are the man's co-workers saying about all this?
They're arriving now for kind of the night shift here, especially one of the guys that works in the front. This guy was beloved here for years. They said every time, if there's a situation where someone can't pay for their room and it gets out of control, he's got to go up there and lock the door. He tried to do that today, and they said he was shot in the back.
My goodness. Okay. Sean, thanks.
Investigators have ruled Brennan Santo's death an accident. The 18-year-old from Rochester Hills went missing on the campus of Michigan State in October. His body was found in the Red Cedar River in January. Toxicology report shows he had a blood alcohol level of 0.22. So the report says Santo was drunk and leaving a party when he was last seen alive. Investigators say he died from an accidental drowning and that alcohol contributed to his death. DPSCD is looking at slimming down its facilities, and that means closing schools as part of its proposed 20-year master plan.
And there are plenty of opinions over what's in and what's out moving forward. Mara McDonald live at Pershing High School tonight. Mara, the district is looking for input from parents.
That's right, and they're having one of their community engagement meetings here at Pershing to go over not just the whole closure issue, but this 20-year master plan. It's a $700 million plan. Let me show you.
The $700 million proposed master plan looks like this. $281 million would go to new school buildings, $35 million would go to reactivate buildings for pre-K, and $269 million would go to renovate school buildings. But part of this plan includes slimming down facilities. The district is looking at the closure of about a dozen schools. To be clear, this proposed 20-year facilities plan has not yet been voted on by the school board, but there are already criticisms of the process.
Well, it hasn't been very positive. It's been kind of bleak. It's heartbreaking to see a school close, because when the school closed, the community dies.
DPSCD is holding a series of what it's calling community engagement sessions to get input, realizing that an ever-declining enrollment is very much an issue when it comes to deciding how many facilities the district actually will need over the next 2 decades. Teachers who have been through this process before are skeptical.
A lot of this is about the property and land grabs, and we're not taking it.
Back here live, tonight's meeting starts at 6. There will be more community engagement meetings. And Devin, Kimberly, after speaking with some school board members, they tell me that they're not ready to vote yay or nay on this, that they want to hear more from parents and they need to take a deeper dive into the plan. We're live on Detroit's East Side. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
And we will be following it. Mara, thank you. New security camera video shows a missile strike on a residential neighborhood in Kyiv.
As the Russian invasion of Ukraine now reaches its 19th day, more attacks by Russian forces are focused on civilian targets. There are reports at least 2 people were killed in this attack, which severely damaged the building. As desperation grows, Ukrainians keep rushing to the borders to get to safety. Alice Barr kicks off our coverage tonight from Washington. Alice.
Good evening. President Biden today laying blame on Russia's president for the spike in gas prices we're seeing here at home. While in Ukraine, Russian attacks are creeping closer to NATO allied territory. Today in Ukraine, little progress in peace talks amid rapidly expanding acts of war. Russian-launched airstrikes over the weekend, killing at least 35 at a military base in western Ukraine and landing just 20 miles from the Polish border at the doorstep of NATO territory the Biden administration has vowed to defend.
President Putin must stop the violence, de-escalate, and choose the path of diplomacy.
And with concerns growing about a Russia-China alliance, both countries now pushing back against reports that Russia has asked China for military equipment and other support.
If they think that they can basically bail Russia out, they can give Russia a workaround to the sanctions that we've imposed, they should have another thing coming.
The U.S. working to get an additional $200 million in military equipment to frontline Ukrainian forces, as Russia appears to be firing more indiscriminately at civilian targets, increasing the desperation and the will to fight back. The port city of Odessa preparing for an attack by sea.
Different ages, different languages, different cultures, all prepared to fight for Ukraine.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky pushing Western leaders for more aggressive action. He's now set to address the U.S. Congress on Wednesday. Lawmakers and President Biden balancing pressure on the home front as the war adds to soaring inflation, driving grocery store sticker shock and forcing fuel prices to record highs. Multiple sources tell NBC News the White House is discussing having President Biden travel to Europe in the coming weeks for a trip focused on the war in Ukraine and reassuring allies in the region. In Washington, Alice Barr, Local 4.
All right, Alice, as Russia deals with those crippling sanctions, they may get a bit of help from India. Officials say that country may be willing to buy Russian oil and other commodities at a discount. Ahead tonight on NBC Nightly News, Richard Engel, foreign correspondent, takes you to the suburbs of Kyiv to see the aftermath of the intense shelling there. That's at 6:30, right after Local 4 News at 6. All right, let's get to the weather, because after those single-digit wind chills we saw over the weekend, temperatures today up into the 50s.
I'm not complaining. No. It's not going to stop there either. Let's get over to Paulie for a look at what's ahead. Hi, Paul.
Yeah, hey there. And you know what? Look at Grosse Ile. 60 degrees right now. Now, you're kind of wondering, well, you're on the water. What? Well, it's a southwest wind. That's really more of a land wind for you here in Grosse Ile. But you can see where the water's coming off of Lake Erie. 12 Celsius in Harrow, Ontario. That's only 54 degrees. So you can see much cooler, even 7 over in Point Pelee. But basically, the rest of us in the mid-50s here in the metro zone. We have 59 in Dundee, 60 in Deerfield, 62 at Lambertville. And then our west zone, near 60 in Ypsilanti, 54 Whitmore Lake, Milford, Howell, 53 at Flint. And in our north zone, all right, we lose the cool air because there's a front right around here. You can see 47 over at Sandusky. So for the evening hours, again, for those of us that are in the 50s, dropping through the 50s into the 40s tonight. Those of you that are in the 40s will continue dropping through the 40s during the evening hours. So coming up, we're going to talk about some scattered showers tomorrow, St. Patrick's 60s, and coming up at 5:30, we're going to have a little fun with Pi Day, some things that I'll bet you don't know. We'll have that in just a few minutes, guys.
All right, Paul. We continue to face the highest gas prices in more than a decade. AAA says Michigan drivers paying an average now of $4.24 a gallon. That's a jump of 27 cents a gallon from just last week. It's $1.43 a gallon more than this time last year. For a 15-gallon tank, you're talking about an average of $63 to fill up. Prices hit a record high on Thursday of last week, then dipped slightly. Experts think that they're going to stay high, at least in the short term, because of where the price of oil stands.
All right, now to the coronavirus, and the numbers from the weekend are noticeably lower than what we've seen over the past few weeks. 1,365 new cases over the past 3 days, averaging out to 455 cases per day. 24 new deaths are also being reported over that same 3-day period.
And the 7-day moving average continues to trend down. Back on February 28th, we were averaging more than 1,000 cases per day on that metric. Today, that number is down to 700.